So good morning, good night, depending on where you are. Today, I'm joined by Vasko Raykov, the lead singer of the band Odd Crew. They're a metal band from Bulgaria who have been around now for a few years, and they're ready to release their brand new album, Dark Matters Part 1, which comes out May the 27th, I believe, of
Yes,
next week.
exactly. Yeah.
So I was lucky to get to listen to the album, and the album is there's a lot of melody to it, especially in your singing. There's very heartfelt, emotive songs. So I think a lot of people might enjoy that. Right now, I know that the band just signed recently to Drakkar Entertainment. How did that come to fruition?
First of all, hello to everyone, and thanks, Hector, for having me on the show. And
Of course.
I appreciate that you like the album and everything that's going on there. And yeah, this is kind of a different thing for us, especially for the electrical stuff, because we had the acoustic album like I don't know 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
And
2018.
yeah, and this kind of gave us a boost about. I mean, I was kind of tired of the screaming that we did in the previous albums and all the hard vocals, So I decided that I would just prefer to sing, and I really wish that the Dark Matters would be a really more melodical, more harmonical album than what we used to do before. And this is how it turned to be. And it's not that we said okay, let's keep it this way. It's just I kind of feel that the whole band felt the same way at that point. So this kind of gave us the feeling that went all into the Dark Matters Part 1 thing. And this was the main reason that we kind of made the deal with Drakkar Entertainment, because especially Max, who is working who is front line of Drakkar Entertainment right now, and he kind of became a huge fan of the band. So I mean, I believe he's the main reason that we kind of signed this contract, but we're really glad we did, because I believe that our label is really into what we're doing right now, and is trying to help as much as they can to promote this thing and get it out in the open.
Yeah, no, and you know, recently I did interview another band from Bulgaria, Wendy.
Blended, yeah.
Yeah, and really, there's some nice bands up there in Bulgaria.
There actually are, yeah.
Yeah,
Most of them are not widely recognized, but to tell you the truth, in terms of this, how small of a country Bulgaria is, and how many good bands we have here, it's actually pretty impressive, I believe. I honestly, I've been doing music for the last 23 years with the band, and I've also been producing other bands in my recording studio, and it's really impressive how many good players and the good musicians we have around here.
Yeah, no, I think there's so many people need to branch out, and not just, so sometimes when they think of metal music, they think like England or the United States, but there's so many other countries with great bands that you can explore.
I mean, that's normal. If you think of rock and roll, you think about England or United States. If you think about blues, you think about the Mississippi Delta. It's just those regions of the world that carry this kind of a charisma. So, of course, when you speak about metal music or rock and roll music, it's Bulgaria is not the first thing that pops into your mind. So, which is normal. But yeah, we do have a lot of really good bands around here. In terms of metal, rock and roll, and whatnot, it's strange, but it is what it is. It really, we just do. We have them.
Yeah, no, I can identify because I'm from originally from Puerto Rico, and when you think Puerto Rico, you don't think like metal bands, but we do.
Exactly, yeah. There are plenty of good bands that I've heard from Japan and China that are actually doing pretty good metal stuff, and of course, you don't think about China as the metal country of the world. You know, you think about United Kingdom, you don't, or United States, you don't think about China. But still, I mean, there's plenty of bands around there. I mean, around the world, anyways, because now with the open internet and all the social network, all the social networking that we have, like the Facebook and Twitter and you name it. You know, it's, I mean, everybody can be, let's say, a star. So everybody's out there and trying to make his own way.
Yeah, it's easier to find music nowadays that back in the like 20 years ago in the 90s you had to go to a record store and sometimes you would buy a record just on the album cover. That's why album covers were so important back then,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
if you saw
exactly.
a good album cover you might buy it without listening to the music. But nowadays, like,
There's, I believe there's like a really good part of what's happening now and a really bad part about it, because
Mhm.
I mean, yes, back in the day, you didn't have this freedom of just putting your music out there in a platform or in YouTube or whatever. You had to go through label fishing. You had to go through an agent. You had to go through all this stuff that would require you to be really somewhat interesting, somewhat strange, somewhat something different, something new. And in terms of what's happening now, the good thing is that now you can be your own label if you wish.
Yeah.
But the bad part is that actually there's too much information out there. So, I mean, we're losing this kind of a filter that used to be the record label and the people from the H&R and the people, you know what I'm talking about. It's just
Yeah.
the whole net of people that are actually making their money out of this business. So they would judge you in terms of how productive are you, how good are you, how, you know, independent are you, or whatever. And now it's, you're just the next band in the train of you know, on Facebook you just put out a song there and it's like, our new song is out, yeah, that's good. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I'm an old school. I like albums. I like to sit down, listen to albums. Singles are
We can
important,
agree on that.
but
I'm the same, yeah.
I like listening to an album from front to back. I think people have less patience now, but like that's why I think having a strong album, because there's like back in the day, I didn't hate anything much. Like when you bought an album that had like two great songs and the rest was bad. And back then you didn't know. Now you can listen it to stream it and you can decide if you buy it or not. So right now, it's easier to get access to music, but also there's so much of it that people can get
My
jaded.
point exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
because
just
there's
too much. It's just too much information, you
so
know, and you kind of
a
get
lot.
lost into between the lines, because you don't have the time to listen to the whole music in the world, you know. It's
No, I wish I had, but no, there's.
and what you're saying, I'm the same guy. I would prefer to listen from to an album from beginning to end, because listening to a song doesn't represent what the artist wanted to tell you. It's just a part
Yeah.
of, you know, okay, it's a catchy song, it's a catchy groove, it's a catchy, there are catchy lyrics or catchy chorus or whatever, but it's just one song. It doesn't actually mean what the band had to say. And
No, I
I
agree.
believe nowadays we've lost this kind of a trend to kind of get into the artist's mind and try to understand what he's trying to say. That's what my problem with music nowadays is.
Yeah, I like to read lyrics and interpret them, but I think lyrics can be can mean something different depending on what you're looking for. So they can be,
Yeah,
obviously the one who's gonna
most
know
of the time
more.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you. So talking about that and going back to the record, what are the themes in Dark Matter Part 1 that you're exploring with this release?
We've always wrote lyrics about our lives, and it's never been I don't know, it's really hard to tell. We always tend to get really personal about our music and about what we do, and we have this philosophy that the music that we listen to, let's say Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and Jethro Tull, and Kansas, and Rush, and whatnot, they've changed our lives in such a way that we've always wanted to be able with our music to maybe try and change somebody else's life for the better. So I don't know how this happened, but we really tend to get really personal in our lyrics in terms of what we've experienced in life, and kind of help ourselves and maybe help somebody else in discovering a cure for the pain and the let's say injustice in the world. Or I don't want to sound like really judgmental. It's just the way it is. Pink Floyd are one of the other teachers that we've let's say mentors that we've had over the years, and they are huge. They've made a huge impression on our way of thinking, way of life, and whatnot. So maybe that's what we're trying to accomplish in some way, but in general it's just our perspective of the things that we live through. We have this slogan in the old crew thing. We say strength, pride, respect, and family, because we've been together for 23 years, and
That's a long time. Yeah.
I really want to say that we've been through I wouldn't say the F word, maybe I would say flipping a lot. And we've just seen so much, and it kept us so strongly together that at some point you realize that it always depends on your vision of life in general. So I believe that's what keeps us together, and that's what we try to put in the music.
Yeah, and we're I'm showing here the album artwork. It's a simple artwork. How did you capture this? Is someone did they put like a blank screen?
Yeah.
Who's
I can tell you the whole story, but it's gonna take like an hour and a half or something.
Oh, that's a long.
Yeah.
Maybe give me the synopsis.
the kind of a short story is that through the years we've learned how to do a lot of stuff ourselves, because when we didn't have a label, when we didn't have a recording engineer and a front of house engineer and a lighting engineer and whatnot, so we always kind of figured out ways to do this and this and this and this. And actually one of the first covers that we did, it was actually me experimenting with Photoshop that we have, let's say, I don't know, 15 years ago or something like this. So we started I started doing a studio work, working with other bands. Our bass player started doing like acoustic work with our friends of ours that have this company that actually do acoustic panels and acoustic treatment for big halls and cinemas and studios and whatever. So they're pretty familiar with the materials that they would use for this and that. And we had this idea of doing this silhouette thing because it's dark matter, so we wanted it to be actually light with some kind of a dark, so to contradict the title. And this is how we figured it out. So we bought this and that material, we experimented a little bit, and our friend, actually the director of the Dark Matters Part 1 movie, he was
I was going to ask about the movie.
Yeah, he's actually the guy that shot this photo. But yeah, it's just actually on the cover you see our bass player. This is Marty, and on the back just with some backlight, and then it's actually his wife who interpreted this into the cover and made it as a design.
Yeah, no, it's a cool design. I'm showing it again so people can, the explanation.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. It's I believe it kind of really represents the idea that we were aiming for.
Yeah, it's a simple album cover, but it represents what the album is about. And I was gonna ask you about so when you were doing this album, did you have a movie in mind, documentary, or was that something that
Not in
was
the beginning,
presented to
no,
you
no,
while you were recording?
not in the beginning. Yeah, we were sure that we wanted to video shoot all the 8 songs of this first part of the album, and we already got the guy. It's Petr Dimov, who is the director of the all of the videos that would come out with the Dark Matters Part One album. And at some point, we were just hanging in the studio, and we were thinking about. We wanted to have a kind of a general idea about everything, and not do a separate video that has a different, different situations, different. We wanted something to generalize the whole idea, and he said, "Guys, let's just do a movie about it. Let's just get the documentary footage. Let's shoot some more, and let's figure out because I mean if you see the movie, the whole band is in one place in a studio, in a video studio that we're doing the major shots of the band, and then every song has its own dedicated how you call it, a dedicated idea.
Mhm.
So we were thinking of what this song, I mean, what the song of this lyrics, where they take you to, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and then we thought, okay, how can we combine this into a movie? And it was actually his idea. He said, let's just do a movie, and we'll figure it out in the way. And we
Yeah.
started doing it, and piece by piece, it just came together.
So is the movie like a documentary about the making of the album, or is there another story within the movie?
I wouldn't say it's a documentary. It has its documentary footages. There's even, I mean, we started playing music when we were really small kids, when we were like 10 years of age. It was like
Okay.
23 years ago plus. So, of course, we have all those VHS footages that we put into, through the years. We've shot with phones, GoPros, you name it, So we have this huge amount of data that we were saving for this kind of a moment. And of course, it can't go into one movie because it has to be like 23 years long. It can be
No, yeah.
just 2 hours. So, but I mean, we used a lot of those footage in the movie, but still, the movie has like the interviews. We have this 2 interviews that are hosted by 2 of the major music guys in Bulgaria in terms of musical journalism, and we also have some road footage. There's there's a story, and like the behind the scenes and the idea behind this Dark Matters albums that we're every one of us is talking to, everyone is talking about in the movie. So it's kind of a compilation. It's not just a documentary, like a history movie about how the album was made. It's kind of a, let's say, everyone's philosophy about the album and what's in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds interesting. There's bands in the past that have tried to do something like that, like obviously, most famously, Metallica with the song "Kind of Monster," where they were trying
Some
to
kind of
record
monster actually is one of my favorite things, because it's really great.
It's so
Like
raw.
one of your favorite bands that you can see what they're doing, and you can see not only the good times that they're laughing and just drinking and smoking, and you see the bad times, you see the struggles, you see the
Yeah.
the parts where everything falls apart. And I mean, I know that you've had interviews that you've listened to those kind of stories over and over again. It's
No,
not just sunshine and
no, it,
flowers everywhere.
it's like being in a band. I think it's like being in a marriage, or being in a group. It's a
uh,
group of
uh,
people that have to coincide.
let's say it this way: we're a four-person band, so it means that every one of us has 3 marriages with the band, and then you have your wife. So it's I mean, you have to live with 4 marriages every day. So
Yeah,
that's what it is,
that's a lot.
actually.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I love that documentary for Metallica, and
Yeah,
Whenever I see it, I'm surprised that Lars Ulrich is still alive. Because when
come
he
on,
was
man.
shouting
I
at
mean,
James, like James could have just like, because Lars is so tiny and James is like so huge. And I'm like, why
I
is
mean,
he shouting like I would be afraid to shout at James.
I would. What I love about this movie is I don't know if I will put it the right way, but I mean, they would argue with themselves, but at any point they would just look at each other's eyes, and you can see the connection between both of them.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
realize that it's not just a band; it's a family, it's a marriage, it's a relationship, it's whatever you name it. And we've always said to ourselves, even when we were kids, that if we have a band, we want it to be this way, because we were looking at Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, and then you would see Jimmy Page looking at Robert Plant, and then you would see the same kind of connection. And I believe this. I believe this is kind of a commitment that every band should have. I believe
Yeah.
this is the true bandsmanship, if there's a word like that, or I just invented it. I don't know, but I believe this is how it should be in a band.
Yeah, I believe so too. And going back to the album, I really enjoyed the third single you put out, Farewell. I think it's a super strong song. It has great guitars on it. It's very heartfelt how you sing the lyrics. What is Farewell really about?
It's really hard to put into words, because you know uh, personally for me, because I am almost 90% behind, let's say 99% behind the lyrics that we
Mhm.
put into the songs. Some of the ideas come from the band, but it's me who has to finish them in a general way, and finish the whole idea. And personally, for me, it's really hard to talk about, because there are still songs from the album that are actually still giving me the goosebumps, and uh, the cutthroat that you experience from what you're trying to say, because every song that not with this album, but with every album that we've done, every song is a lived through, and it's really hard to explain. It's just a personal, really personal experience. But I know that everyone can find himself in a situation that they would listen to the lyrics, and they would find themselves in this kind of a song for a different situation, but the feeling is going to be the same. And Farewell is, for me personally, it's a kind of a song that reminds me that I'm here today, and maybe not tomorrow. You know, so as as hard as it may seem, I mean, it's flipping difficult to explain it.
Yeah.
You know, as hard as it is for me, it's I love my life, I love my band, I love my wife, I love my kid, and I love my friends and everybody that's around. And at some point, you're thinking that you might not be here tomorrow. So
Very true.
as hard as things can get, you just need a reminder that you'll go through it. You can take care of. It doesn't really matter all the small things that are happening, that are troubling you, that are uh trying to put you off road or whatever. At the end of the day, it's who you are and the people around you and what you have in your life. And if you can't appreciate that, then you're worthless. I mean, if you don't like yourself, nobody else will like you.
Yeah, that's a
So
very true statement. And obviously, listening to the song, it's about, farewell, saying goodbye to the world. And
not
obviously,
only that, I mean,
yeah,
as we sing in the chorus, it's like, I hope we get closer someday, because whatever you do in life, you never fulfill yourself, because you're always, your mind always is a step ahead of what you believe that has to happen. And a lot of times we kind of don't appreciate what we already have. And
That is true. Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. What I hope we get closer someday, because you're never close enough to the people that are closest to you. You know, I mean, we tend to get this for granted, and we never appreciate truly the connection that we have. And I believe Farewell is one of those moments that I just wanted to put it in a song that uh, my way of saying to everybody else, thank you for being in my life. You know.
Yeah, no, something that's a strong suit in this album is it has great lyrics and obviously very
Thank you.
heartfelt vocal delivery. You know, sometimes when people think metal, they think it just needs to be like true
I know.
cabal, like all hard and singing about dragons and shit. But
Yeah, I know. I know.
but
I mean,
no, yeah,
we've been for that. We've been through that. I mean, you know, everyone says like don't judge a book by its cover, and of course we always do, because we have those stereotypes in life that we just kind of synthesize an idea about something on its about its looks. You know, this is actually how science works. Is we see let's say breasts, and we say, okay, this is a woman. We see a beard, we say, okay, this is a man. You know, so this is how we synthesize stuff, and this is how we organize them into categories. So of course, when you say metal, people are thinking about black t-shirts. You know, I mean, come on, let's face it.
yeah,
Uh, people are thinking about leather jackets, black t-shirts, beards, long hair, smelly people, you know, who haven't showered for a week or whatnot. But yourself, you know that this is really far from the truth, because I believe metal is a. It's not the. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of metal art. I don't want to say anything bad about the band. Uh, I respect for what they did back in the day, and for what they're doing right now. It's just not my music, you know. For me, it's Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, and
I'm more with you on that. Yeah, Manowar too much for me. The
for me
type
too. But
letter.
I don't want to offend anybody, because you know, music is a kind of a. It's just a. I mean, you either like apples or you like peaches or oranges or whatever. I may
Mhm.
not like them. Doesn't make them less of a fruit, you know, or less of a
Yeah,
vegetable.
correct.
So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to say anything bad, but back in the day, they kind of made this image of you know, the leather things, the as you're saying, like the swords and the horses, and
Yeah,
going to war, and just fighting for it all, and
yeah.
whatnot.
I
But
think
I think there's,
everything changed in the 90s because the 90s was so eclectic that
you
I
know,
think that changed.
what the most metal album for me is?
Oh, which one is?
Osmosis.
Oh, by the Ozzy Osbourne album.
Yeah, I believe this is like the
Is that the one with Perry Mason?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
right
great.
on point. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
and
great. You know, that's a
the
very
other
underrated Ozzy Osbourne song because,
the
like,
other like huge metal album that I can think about, like if I think about modern metal, except for Osmosis, would be oh, let me think about it. 2112 of Rush.
oh, I love great album, great concept album.
Uh, Also, of course, every album of Motorhead, but thank God Lemmy's not alive to smash me with a bass guitar in the head, because I'm saying metal and not blues, because they're a blues band, as he said. So yeah, but in general, that's what I mean. It's metal is an idea. It's not like the heavy
Yeah,
metal, you know.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
It's yeah. I mean, Iron Maiden are a fucking amazing band, and I still cannot appreciate all of their songs. I like a couple of songs of Iron Maiden. I love Iron Maiden in terms of the people that are in the band.
yeah.
I just cannot appreciate widely the music that they're
Yeah,
making.
we can all agree that "Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter" is not the best song, the best Iron Maiden
You
song.
know, Metallica is a metal band. This
Yeah.
is what and still, I mean, people would still hang out would still hang to the Load and Reload, the Black Album, and whatever. My favorite album of Metallica is Saint Anger and Death Magnetic. You know,
Wow. Yeah. 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 It's all about music.
everyone hated the snare drum in Saint Anger. I fucking love the snare.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I said fucking. All right.
That's okay. You can curse here. Yeah.
No, I'm sticking with the flipping from the IT Crowd. You know, the
Okay.
TV series Moss.
Okay.
You know, he's like a flip. Yeah.
So obviously you have Dark Matters 1. Can we expect a Dark Matters 2 this year or next year?
Next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
And is it going to
Actually,
be
there
the
are
same
4
theme
parts.
or musically more heavier?
No, it's kind of the same if you ask me. If I think about it, it's kind of the same style, kind of the same vibe. Different songs though. I mean, there's really different vibe in terms of groove and in terms of tempos and arrangements and whatever. But in terms of feelings, it's kind of the same thing. That's what when we started writing the album, we had like more than if I'm not mistaken, more than 150 songs that we had
Wow.
prepared. And so we went through the songs and we decided, okay, this idea is not going to make it. Let's put it aside, maybe later, maybe some other time, maybe it's just going to the trash, you know. And the 32 songs that we end up with are the Dark Matters part 1, 2, 3, and 4, because they're mostly 6 to 10 minutes long, and every album would be like an hour, almost an hour long. And but it's kind of the same vibe and the same message, the same the same gloomy, somber atmosphere that's in there. No matter how hard the song is, no matter how fast it is, and no matter how it's just, I believe that we kind of synthesize the heart playing with the melodic vocals. I don't want to really get too technical about it because it's boring anyway, but this is how we feel about it. And the truth about the whole Dark Matters is that we've kind of become more of ourselves. Everyone from the band is putting his own ideas in there and his own way of doing stuff. And yes, of course, we have this issues where Martin, our bass player, wants to get rid of this double hand, and we say, no, you keep it in there, you know, just don't touch anything, you know, it works, it's working good, don't touch anything, you know. So but in general, it's every one of the band has his own say about how he wants to sound, and he wants to present himself in this album. And this means the whole 4 parts of this album. That's why it's part 1, because we decided that this whole feeling would be just one album with 4 parts. Great. And not 4 different albums.
I can't wait to listen to the rest parts because it's very interesting.
Me too.
Yeah. So Vasko, before I let you go,
yeah,
I want to ask, because you're going to go on tour soon.
Yeah.
What is the most important?
Finally.
The most important, yeah, I know, finally. What is the most important essential thing that you need to have on tour with you? Like, you know, like, let's say, like, you know, like those J-Lo, they like, I need to have my M&Ms in backstage. What do you need to go on tour, you know, to function?
I need my guitar player, my bass player, and my drummer.
That's good, because if not, you're just a guy shouting into a crowd.
Yeah, and if I can have my front of house engineer, who is a dear friend of mine that we grew up together, and if I can have our lightning guy, who is also a dear friend of ours, and we've known each other for years, this would be perfect. I don't care about M&Ms. I'm not a drug guy. I mean, I don't need weed. I don't need any other kind of drugs. You know, maybe a glass of whiskey would be great if we can have that. But in general, this is all we need. We just need the family on the road, and we need the open road, we need gas.
Yeah,
And I mean, sometimes we need a place to shower.
that is true.
This is
So
our demands.
yeah, so people, Dark Matters Part 1 comes out next Friday the 27th. You can pre-order
Yes.
it. I saw you have vinyl copies. You can stream, you can do whatever to
People
do.
can go online on altcrew.net and check out all the information. They can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot. I mean, I'm really bad at this. I'm not this kind of a really social geek,
Don't worry,
but
I'll put it on the description so people
thank
can
you, man.
find
I hugely appreciate this because it's not my strong suit, But,
no, me neither. So
but yeah, I mean, people can find us if they like what they
Exactly.
hear. They can find us, and you can check out the tour dates. And I believe there's some European tour dates coming end of summer.
Very
Maybe
quickly, here's the tour dates that are coming up.
tour dates. Yeah, this is the Bulgarian. This is the Bulgarian part of the tour. We haven't played for 2 freaking years.
Yeah.
I cannot even believe this. We just had this secret show. We started our own fan club. It's called the SPRF crew, or the Strength, Pride, Respect, and Family crew. And people can find this on our website if they like. And we just held our first show from 2 years last week, and it was flipping amazing. I
Awesome.
can say I cannot wait till the 27th and 28th that we actually start the normal touring on a bigger stage and all the sound and lights and everything else. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll be also in Europe soon enough. So I mean, keep your eyes open for us.
Great.
We'd love to see you somewhere there.
So hopefully soon. So Vasko, again, I want to thank you for taking your time.
It's my
And
pleasure, man.
so until next time, this is Hector, the Shield
Thank
to the
you.
Couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you, and rock on.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.